All right, good Wednesday morning, everyone. Thanks for stopping by for a quick check of your forecast. Hope you guys are doing well today. It is a frigid start here in the high plains, so hopefully you're going to dress in layers if you've got to spend some time outside. We're down to 18 right now in Amarillo, and we'll stay colder than average for the rest of this work week. Again, main story, I do think still going to be cold weather, at least below average temperatures, but once we get closer to Christmas time, just how cold we get, still a little bit what we consider muddy water. But I think it's a safe bet to say we'll probably be below average for our temperatures in that time frame. But we'll talk about that here in just a second. Let's take a quick look at those current conditions. Winds, fortunately, very light from the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Still bitter cold out there, feeling like the teens and single digits. Hey, Kim, thanks for tuning in this morning. We're feeling like 13 here in Amarillo. For our dog walk forecast today, we'll climb up into the upper 40s today, so still below normal for those temperatures this afternoon. Our average high temperature is 52. We won't quite get there today with all that northwest wind that we'll be dealing with, and probably some breezy to stronger winds up towards Beaver County in the northeast corner of the Panhandles. Hey, Mike, thanks for tuning in. As we go into the evening hours tonight, expecting another cold start to your day. Tomorrow we'll end up tumbling into the teens and 20s for the next several mornings, and probably going to stay below freezing most mornings from here through the rest of the month. Down back into the teens and 20s tomorrow, and then up into the low 40s for those afternoon high temperatures before we start to see our cold weather really smother the area on Friday. Here's what some of those wind chills may look like. Shelly, Jean, thanks for tuning in. As we move into the last 48 hours of the work week, we'll end up seeing a lot of wind chills in the teens tomorrow, and then we'll warm up into the 30s for those feel-like temperatures, and then ending up in the teens and single digits by Friday morning. Now, again, our next weather maker, it is certainly going to be cold as we move into next week. Now, just exactly how cold we get is still something that's a little bit unknown. You can see this is the European model yesterday, that massive Arctic air mass diving down into the Rockies. Again, you've probably already seen some people posting stuff on social media about some very frigid air coming through all the way down towards Texas. That's something we're keeping our eye on, but again, the exact location and the exact magnitude still unknown. We do expect this to displace to the south. We've got some ridge of high pressure that's going to build into the Canadian provinces, and that's going to pinch off all that cold air. But this is the model this morning, so notice where it sends the cold air on its very next run. There's a lot of inconsistency. It dives it more south and east towards the Midwest, and that 9 times out of 10 is usually a little bit more likely scenario. This morning's European model does not get us as cold as it did yesterday on that last run, so still trying to hash out the exact temperatures that we're going to see for Christmas, but I do think overall the trend is colder than average. And again, I think really just due to the Rockies and the Appalachian Mountains, that's where we'll end up seeing a lot of this cold air funneled into the central side of the U.S., especially in the North Plains and the Midwest. Now, once you get further south, things get a little harder to tell just how cold it's going to be, but a good chance we're going to be below our average high of 51 and our average low of 25. As we get closer to Christmas weekend, we do expect it to be bitter cold. I also think it's going to be very dry for us, so if you're looking for a white Christmas, I think you're going to have to leave the Panhandles in order to see that happen. Here's your 9-day temperature trend. Again, we're going to have those sporadic days where maybe around average for our temperatures when we try and get that south flow at the surface. That's going to help us warm up some. Kevin and Robeline, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hope you guys are doing well. 51 on Sunday and Wednesday due to some southwest flow at the surface. So we do get the southwest winds occasionally, but cold air we think will eventually win out. The exact timing of that still kind of muddy water. Again, yesterday we were saying Wednesday night. Now it looks like it may be Thursday morning, and this may continue to slowly get delayed until we start to get closer and closer to this time frame. Trying to depict these very shallow, very cold air masses, very hard to predict with model guidance, but the teleconnection certainly there that cold air is going to be displaced at some point as we get closer to Christmas time. Just how far south it gets, still a little unknown, but I do think we'll be below average. Here's your high temperatures for today, reaching up into the mid and upper 40s. We stay below average for the highs this afternoon. Get used to cold mornings. It's going to be in the teens and 20s tomorrow morning, teens and 20s on Friday morning, and then probably the 20s this weekend for your low temperatures. Sunday morning may be an exception, just depends on how much warm weather we get filtered back into the area. But the overall trend is probably below average temperatures. Notice there are no snow or rain chances in the forecast. If people are posting stuff like, White Christmas here in the Panhandles, I would probably unfollow them. That's just, again, trying to hype some stuff up. Some people saying that this is going to be like February of 2021. I don't think it's going to be that cold, nor do I think we're going to see any precipitation. This is definitely going to be a different kind of system coming through than what we saw in February of 2021, but we do expect some chilly weather. We may have a couple of days where we do stay below freezing as we get closer to Christmas. But in terms of seeing that combined with winter weather, I think is highly unlikely as of right now. So that's something that we'll have to talk about once we get closer to that time frame. Just get prepared for a colder finish to this month. That's all I got for you guys. Have a great day today. Enjoy your morning. It's cold out there. Dress in layers, and I'll see you in a few hours for your next update.